So Donald Trump might be coming to the rescue and saving Warner Bros. From being bought by Netflix. My initial thoughts about this entire situation is both sides, whoever buys it isn't going to be the best thing for consumers, in my personal opinion. Because if you think about it, Paramount is arguing that it's about antitrust laws and that creates a monopoly. But if Paramount, who has the eighth most subscribers for streaming, buys Max, and they have the fourth highest in subscribers, isn't that creating a monopoly as well? This makes you wonder. And then you own Warner Brothers and their studios. So you have two studios. And making that argument, it doesn't seem like it's going to end well. And Netflix is just a streaming company. They don't have a studios. Let's get right into this article by Cosmic Book News. So a new twist in the high-stakes bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery is making headlines, and this time it involves none other than President Donald Trump. While the president has distanced himself from the sale, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, even backed out, Trump now seems to have fully aligned with Paramount against Netflix. According to a recent New York Post report by Charles, I don't want to butcher his last name, Paramount Skydance has moved to Plan D in its bid to derail Netflix's so-called winning offer for Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, as I've said, Paramount should have taken this bid more serious. I think, in my opinion, they dropped the ball by not stepping up with a better offer than Netflix. They came in with what, $87 billion. I think, yeah, 87. You couldn't go higher than them. You couldn't step up. You finally wanted to go right to the shareholders and say, hey, this is our offer and it's better than Netflix. When in reality, it's like you look desperate, in my personal opinion. That's why I think no matter what happens here, you can hear things from Trump's administration or Trump saying, I'm going to get involved. The antitrust argument, I don't think it's going to work for Paramount, in my opinion. After multiple failed strategies, including an all-cash $30 share offer, a potential hostile takeover, and even threatening litigations, the Ellison-backed studio is now playing the long game. Insiders for the site say they're focused on hammering home the enormous regulatory risks surrounding Netflix, Warner Brothers merger, hoping the deal collapses under its own weight. And now they may have found their biggest ally yet, President Trump. And this was said by Donald Trump himself, stop the Netflix cultural takeover. Well, wouldn't Paramount be a cultural takeover as well? You see, it's just hard to imagine a situation where we're going to have politics involved. I don't think that's the best idea. And you just don't want to have that involved with your entertainment. That's why people don't like to watch stuff that tries to send a message. They just want to be entertained by these movies and TV shows. With all that being said, Trump targets Netflix takeover. Trump posted a One American News article on Truth Social titled Stop the Netflix Cultural Takeover, slamming the deal as an ideological power grab by a woke media monopoly. When I've watched Netflix in the past, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. They've got a variety of different things. Is there woke stuff on there? Yes, there is. But they have other content that is for the audience who doesn't like woke propaganda, who doesn't like to see that at home. And they've got variety. So people are saying, oh, it's a woke streaming service. You don't have to participate. They have a library of different things for all the audience out there, people who like that type of content and people who don't like that type of content. So I don't get all the backlash. I understand there's some stuff on there for kids I didn't like. However, it's not like that ever on Netflix. Now, with all that being said, let's continue on here. The article accuses Netflix of seeking to consolidate unprecedented cultural power by acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery, home to iconic brands like DC Comics, HBO, and Harry Potter. The message, if Netflix controls these assets, it could become the most dominant cultural gatekeeper in history, able to rewrite characters, retell history, redefine social norms, and control which ideas reach audiences. Well, the thing is this, Paramount can do the same exact thing, right? If they have control of the DC superheroes, they can tell their own stories, retell history. The argument from Paramount is the main thing they should be focused on is ruining theaters. Now, if you go to a movie these days, you understand prices are higher. You rather wait for it to come on streaming. And if it's not a good enough movie, you're going to stay home. That is a general consensus for fans out there when it comes to the cost of movies. They'd rather just stay at home and wait for it to come on streaming if it's not a good enough movie for them to go to pay all that money, especially if you got a family of four. And that's a lot of money you're shelling out for one night. So it's just changing things. If Netflix has control, yes, it's going to change the movie industry forever, but it's already heading in that direction. Even if Paramount were to own Warner Brothers, doesn't mean this problem is fixed. If the price is still high and your movies are average, You're going to have the same exact problem with Paramount owning Warner Brothers. Trump's repost was seen by many as an endorsement of Paramount Skydance's rival bid and a warning shot at regulators. This aligns perfectly with what the Ellisons and Redbird Capital have been arguing for months. The Netflix Warner Brothers deal is a regulatory nightmare waiting to happen. Netflix is offering $27.75 per share and a mix of stock and cash for Warner Brothers, Studio, and HBO Max, with an extra $3 per share tied to a risky cable spinoff, CNN, TNT, Discovery. But that $3 is looking more like a pipe dream, as investors balk at the $15 billion debt dumped onto the spinout. Meanwhile, Netflix has lost over $160 billion in market cap since the bidding wars began, and skeptics question whether it can even afford the deal. The Ellisons are calling out the decline in value of Netflix stock as another ticking bomb for Warner Brothers shareholders, and that's before regulators weigh in. So I don't know. I think Netflix is still going to win out because of all the desperation that you've seen from Paramount, and they seem to be in a better financial position. They have a higher number of subscribers. And again, if they keep the movies in theaters for 17 days, yes, that does suck when it comes to the future of movie theaters. But after the first 2 weeks in theaters, people aren't coming back to see movies. It loses like now I understand people out there who are too busy, who are working, that don't get a chance to see a movie. But if it's mid or average, they just say, you know what, I'll wait till it comes out on streaming. That's going to be another thing that they're going to say, I can wait an extra 2 weeks and I'll go see it at home. That might change things as well. We shall see. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this idea out there where Donald Trump might involve himself with the bidding wars of Warner Brothers. Do you think it's going to change anything or not change anything at all? I'd love to hear your opinions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.